Japan is the dirtiest country. I can hear you saying, hold on, isn't Japan the land of Zen gardens and spotless streets? Well, maybe. But stay with me. Beneath Japan's pristine image, there's an intriguing story that might just change your perspective. Before starting the chapters of this video, comment below what you guys think about Japan. Do you really think Japan is that clean? Let us know with some facts. Japan is a cultural wonderland that's both steeped in tradition and at the cutting edge of technology. From exquisite sushi to robots serving coffee, cherry blossom festivals, epic karaoke sessions, sumo wrestling that makes Hulk Hogan look tiny, and high-tech toilets that can do just about anything except the dishes. Japan is pretty much on everyone's bucket list. Japan firmly established itself amongst the world's cleanest nations, boasting a wastewater treatment index of 74.8% in 2023. I know what you're thinking, but that's not the point of this video. Let's rewind to 2021, shall we? Japan was stuck with about 1.4 million metric tons of nuclear wastewater. And they were in a real pickle because they were running out of space. Seriously, imagine having 1 million tons of anything in your backyard. Not so clean, is it now? So, where did all this nuclear wastewater come from? On March 11, 2011, Mother Nature decided to throw her own version of a tidal tantrum with a tsunami resulting from a 9-magnitude quake that rocked Japan. This claimed the lives of over 18,000 people and the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. Well, let's just say it had a meltdown party, and not the fun kind. The damaged reactors at the plant required continuous cooling, and to prevent further meltdowns, water was used as a coolant. However, this water became contaminated with radioactive isotopes. To manage this contaminated water, Tokyo Electric Power Company, or TEPCO, the plant's operator, implemented a multi-step treatment process to remove most radioactive contaminants. After treatment, the water was stored in large tanks on site. Despite these efforts, the volume of stored water continued to increase over the years. Now, here's where it gets messed up. Japan decided to dump all that wastewater into the Pacific Ocean. They were like, nothing to be worried about here, guys. The water is totally safe for drinking and Nemo will be just fine. But instead of making a splash in the ocean, why not turn this radioactive aqua into bottled water and sell it locally? Imagine the marketing slogan, Fukushima's finest, now in a convenient bottle. They can also discharge them into inland lakes or use it for agriculture. You'd have mutant-sized veggies, and maybe those square-shaped watermelons can stop being so expensive. Japan claims they've worked their H2O magic and treated it through the Advanced Liquid Processing System, or ALPS, which also sounds like a fancy brand of bottled water. This high-tech system eliminates 62 radioactive materials, quite an impressive feat, but it can't remove one troublesome isotope, tritium. According to Sean Burney, a senior nuclear specialist with Greenpeace East Asia, tritium can harm plants and animals if they consume it. It can lead to reduced fertility and damage to cell structures, including DNA. That's not something you want floating around in your environment. So they decided to play mix and match with seawater to dilute the tritium and turn it into safe drinking water. But is it really safe to drink, or will it give you superpowers? Who knows, maybe it won't have any effects right now, but what about in a decade, 2, or even half a century? Will we be laughing or crying over its impact by then? James Smith, a professor of environment and geological sciences at Portsmouth University, suggests that treated Fukushima wastewater might be drinkable due to tritium dilution. Physicist David Bailey, an expert in radioactivity, agrees, but they emphasize the need to monitor tritium levels. However, Emily Hammond, an energy and environmental law expert at George Washington University, warns that defining safe at low exposure levels remains a challenge, and compliance with standards doesn't ensure zero consequences. The Tokyo Electric Power Company, TEPCO, and the Japanese government are trying to blur the lines with their nuclear-contaminated wastewater dumping plan. They claim it's just regular nuclear wastewater that's being treated. See, this regular nuclear wastewater typically arises during normal reactor operation, safely separated from nuclear fuel and reactants. On the other hand, radioactive wastewater born from reactor accidents is a nightmare. It's intensely radioactive and contains various harmful materials with ridiculously long half-lives. For example, iodine-129 has a half-life of 15.7 million years, and carbon-14 clocks in at a mere 5,730 years. Just a friendly reminder, that's a bit longer than the average human lifespan by, about a million years or so. What's worse, when a reactor goes kaput, nuclear materials can leak into the water, turning it into a toxic cocktail with long-lasting consequences. Two South Korean media outlets spilled the tea, claiming Japan had a black deal going on with the International Atomic Energy Agency, or IAEA, to get them to endorse its dumping plan. Now, rumor has it that Japan might have slipped the IAEA a cool €1,000,000 to snag an early draft of their final report. I mean, who needs patience when you can just buy time, right? But that's just a rumor. Best believe the IAEA did their homework and confirmed Japan's dumping plans to be A-OK. On August 24, 2023, Japan began releasing the treatment wastewater into the Pacific Ocean. The UN's nuclear watchdog says the plan meets international standards and will have negligible impact on the environment. But locals and neighboring countries are not convinced. China has been the loudest about the whole drama. Beijing called the plan reckless and accused Tokyo of treating the sea like its private sewer. Chinese customs authorities took a surprising 10-step leap by banning all aquatic products coming from Japan, despite being the biggest market for Japanese seafood exports before then, and Russia is also considering following suit. But scientists have pointed out that China's nuclear power plants release wastewater with even higher tritium levels than Fukushima's discharge. Japan's plan to pump all of that nuclear wastewater is a long, winding road trip that could take about 30 to 40 years to get it all into the ocean. Many people who practically live in the Pacific Ocean have their doubts, and they're not shy about it. Seoul, on the other hand, has been trying to mend fences with Japan and is taking the respect the IAEA's findings route. But that's just causing a stir back home. About 80% of South Koreans are sweating bullets about this water release, according to a recent poll. Fishermen are fuming, saying, "We've got strict no littering rules at sea, but now we're silent on wastewater? What gives?" But it's not just about politics. It's affecting people's livelihoods. Traditional female divers in South Korea, the Haenyeo, are steering clear of the water, and fishermen are worried about their reputation taking a nosedive along with their job prospects. On September 8, 2023, the IAEA conducted its very first independent ocean investigation near the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power station to monitor all that treated water they've been releasing since August. Tritium levels were well below Japan's operational limit. Translation: it's all within the safety rules. Their findings matched what TEPCO and the Ministry of Environment of Japan had reported. So it's not just one party saying everything's fine. It's like a consensus among experts. The world is watching with mixed reactions. Hopefully, we won't be revisiting this video in a post-apocalyptic world where we've mutated into human nightlights. What are your thoughts on Japan's efforts to manage its nuclear wastewater? Do you think they've got it under control, or do you have concerns? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on thought-provoking topics like this one.